Let's do an example on sinking funds today. Our example says a company purchases an excavator for 900,000 Rand. So the company has an excavator for 900,000. The value of the machine depreciates at a rate of 10% per annum on the reducing balance method. Okay, so depreciation is 10% per annum, and that's the method. And then it says the company wants to buy a new excavator in 10 years' time. Okay, so in 10 years, we're going to buy a new machine. Inflation is estimated at 7% per annum. Okay, so we will buy a new machine and we will have to take inflation into account. The old excavator will be sold at scrap value after 10 years. Okay, so the scrap value over here is the value after depreciation, eh? Then it says to purchase a new machine, the money obtained from selling the old excavator will be used. So a sinking fund needs to be set up. Here's the sinking fund. Needs to be set up for the balance. Now this sinking fund, the interest rate is 9% per annum compounded monthly, and the first payment into the sinking fund is made immediately, and the last payment is made at the end of the 10-year period. Okay, so we're going to say to replace our machine, and now they want to know how much must the company pay into the fund per month. So they want to know what is the monthly payment into our sinking fund. Okay, so this is a lot of information. A sinking fund is a savings account where you save to replace an asset. Okay, so we are saving to replace an asset. So step number one is we're going to work out depreciation. So this is also called the scrap value. We're going to work out the scrap value after 10 years. Okay, then we're going to work out inflation. So this is also after 10 years because this is the cost of a new machine in 10 years. Then we're going to work out the amount we need to save. So we need to work out the amount we need to save. You do this by saying the answer in step number 2 minus the answer in step number 1. And then to work out our monthly payment, we're going to use the F formula. Why? Because this is a savings account and we are going to make monthly payments. So they are regular payments. So we're going to use the F formula to calculate what the monthly payment is. Okay, so let's start. Depreciation, I highlighted with yellow. So it says here depreciation is 10% per annum on the reducing balance method. So I'm going to write the formula down for depreciation. Then A is my scrap value. So A is equal to the value of the excavator. So 900,000. 1 minus the rate of depreciation. 10% is 0.10. And then the number of years, we are replacing this excavator in 10 years' time. So this is only 10. No compounding period with depreciation. So let's see, what do we get? All on your calculator, you should get 313,18,60. And this is referred to as the scrap value of the machine in 10 years' time. Okay, step number 2, work out the cost of a new excavator in 10 years' time. So, okay, inflation formula is this one. A is the cost of the new machine in 10 years' time. So at the moment, the machine is 900,000. Then we're going to take inflation into account. Inflation is 7% per annum because remember, the prices increase with time. So 0.07 is inflation, and this is in 10 years' time. And I get the value of a new machine to be 1770,436,22. So this is the scrap value in 10 years' time. This is the cost of a new machine in 10 years' time. Now remember, we are selling this excavator in 10 years' time. So how much money do we need in our fund? We are now going to say the answer in step number 2. So the new price minus the scrap value, because we are going to sell this excavator. And then we will still need a difference of 1456625, 62. This is how much the company needs to save into the sinking fund. So in their bank account, they must make monthly payments to eventually save this amount in the future. So I'm going to use the F formula. So step number 1 for F formula, we write it down. Okay, so I wrote my formula down. Now, F is what we want in the future. Now, remember, this is the amount we want in the future. So, F. Okay, so my F is this. X is my monthly payment. I don't know what my monthly payment is. Let's go up to the information. Let's go look. What is our interest? Now, everything I highlighted in red is the sinking fund, eh? So a sinking fund is going to be set up, and 9% per annum is our interest compounded monthly. Okay, and this is now for 10 years. So our interest is 9%. So this is 0.09 compounded monthly. And we need to work out in. Let's go up to our information. So the first payment is made immediately, and the last payment is at the end. Okay, so there is a payment at the end, eh? So that's nice. So this is not a special case. So T0, T1, T2, and then this last T year, I work out by saying 10 years times monthly payments is 120. And because I made an immediate payment, I don't know what that payment is. I am now going to say I have a total of 120 months, but because I started immediately, the N is 121. So I'm making 121 payments. And this is over the same interest. And now to work out the monthly payment, grade 12, I want X by itself, eh? So I want X here by itself. So to get X by itself, I'm going to get rid of this first. So I'm going to say this amount times the interest. And then I'm going to divide everything by this whole bracket over here. So, okay, I'm going to say over the whole bracket. And I put all of that in my calculator. And I get my monthly payment to be 7,433.07. So this is how much the company must put into that sinking fund monthly to eventually save this amount that they need in their sinking fund. And that's how you do a question like this, grade 12. There's all your steps. So remember, first, it's depreciation. This is the scrap value. Then inflation. Then you work out the amount you need, which you get by saying answer in step 2 minus answer in step 1. This answer that you get here, this answer, is the future value. And if they ask you to work out the monthly payment, you sub it into the F formula because this is a savings account. And you work out your X like we've done here. And that's how you work out the monthly payment for a sinking fund.